Welcome to the Blogger Genius Podcast, brought to you by MiloTree. Here's your host, Jillian Leslie.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the show. Before I get started, I wanted to talk about MiloTree. So MiloTree, for those of you who don't know, is the pop-up app we sell, and I'm sure you've seen it on other blogger sites. So thousands and thousands of bloggers use it to grow their social media followers on Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, Facebook. It will grow your email list and integrates with all major email service providers. You can also set up a custom link to go wherever you want it to go to, whether that be to a sales page, an affiliate, to your TikTok. Anyway, we just rolled out this really awesome feature called Exit Intent. And what that means is when somebody's ready to leave your site, it notices and it pops up and asks them to follow you or subscribe. We have seen tremendous success with this. So it's in advanced settings and you'll find it there. If you head to MiloTree.com right now and sign up, you get your first 30 days free. There is no risk. We want you to love it. And if you have traffic, it really will grow your followers and your subscribers without you having to do a thing. And it works in the background, so you free up time to do all the other things you have to do as an online entrepreneur. I think you're going to love this. And what's great about it is it doesn't interfere with ads. And as you know, I hope you know this, MiloTree will not slow your site down. We have optimized it like crazy. It's Google compliant on mobile. Like, we think about all of this stuff because we use it on our sister site called Catch My Party. If you head to Catch My Party, you'll see our MiloTree pop up because we ultimately built MiloTree for Catch My Party, not thinking we would sell it. And then it worked so well for us, we rolled it out as a separate company. And now we help thousands of other bloggers and online entrepreneurs grow their followers and subscribers. Okay, and remember, MiloTree.com. Go right now, pause. Okay, for today's episode, I have Sarah Williams on the show. She has a business called Framed by Sarah, and she sells a variety of things, but her thing that we spend a lot of time talking about are her subscription boxes. So they're really gifts that you send yourself. You sign up, and she has these are curated boxes. There is something monogrammed in it, so it's personalized for you. What I love about this interview is Sarah did not expect to build this business, and yet she listened to what her customers said, and it evolved from there. It's a really interesting story, and I talk about this a lot, called emergent business building. This is where you start off with something, and you have a hypothesis of what it's going to look like, but you move toward that. You work toward that. But you hold that hypothesis lightly because you are constantly listening and trying new things. So you're listening to your customers, you're in your audience, you're hearing the feedback. You're really trying to read the tea leaves. And then what you're doing is, based on that feedback, you're taking another step. And therefore, you don't plan out your entire business for 5 years. You really are moving incrementally with your customers. And as I always say, you are a miner and you're mining for gold. You're looking for gold. And I think you will see that Sarah's journey has been so interesting, and it really is possible to grow a successful business on the internet. So without further delay, here is my interview with my new friend, Sarah Williams. Sarah, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
So you came to me because we have a mutual friend, Tamara Bennett and Brooke Riley, and so two mutual friends. And Tamara said, you have got to interview Sarah because she has built this incredible subscription box business. And I was like, wow. I thought you had to be Birchbox or you had to be some big company to build a subscription box, or like what is it called? Like Man Crate, or one of these fashion, like Stitch Fix. So I was so intrigued. And Tamara said, wow, she's doing phenomenally well. And so I wanted to dig in with you to hear how you did that. So would you, and we're, by the way, recording this, and I can see where she is, and she's got all of this cool machinery behind her because you're in your brick and mortar store. So Sarah, will you share your entrepreneurial journey and how you got to where you are now?
Yeah, I think it can get overwhelming when you think about starting a subscription box and you think about all those companies that you just named. Like, these are big businesses and you feel very small when you talk about those businesses. But just know that you can create it just like they can. You may not have 50,000 subscribers, but do you really need that many? You really don't. For me, when I started my subscription box, I had a retail store and I was seeing the same customer come in like every month. Or not every month, but very frequently. And I thought, I would really like to create something exclusive and special just for this person that shops with me all the time.
So wait, let's talk about, what do you sell in your retail store? Like, how did that start?
That is a long journey.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
okay.
But in terms of like the kinds of items that you sell, and it's a big store. I asked you how big it was and you're like, it's 4,000 square feet. Like, this is not a tiny little store.
It started out to be a tiny little store. Okay. So I had a little gifts store, and I was making things at the time. I was a maker. I was painting things. I was making things. And so I had a little tiny 600 square foot store. And it was a side hustle. It was a side hustle I was doing from home for like 18 months. And it grew to the point where my husband said, you've got to get this out of our house. Like, I don't care what we do with it. It's in the dining room table, in the hallway. It's in every room of our house. It's got to go. So I rented this little location thinking it was just a place for me to work and make. And I never really intended on it to be a store. And then people would come in to pick up these items that they bought from me, and they would want to shop. And I really didn't have anything for them to shop because I was making orders on demand. And so I started to fill a little bit of the space with some things that they could buy, and people were buying stuff, and it just grew. And then that Christmas, like, my little bitty tiny store was full of people, and there were people waiting on the sidewalk to get in. And I said, okay, I've got to have a bigger place because people want to come in and touch and feel and look.
And what kinds of, so gifts, but like, what kinds of gifts?
What does that mean? At that point, I was painting door hangers, signs, name signs, wooden monograms. I was painting things. Then what happened was someone brought me in this stainless steel cup. This was right when the first I got to have a cup for everything craze came in, and they wanted it monogrammed. And I had all this machinery, I could do pretty much anything at that point. And so I put a little vinyl sticker on it, and that became this like crazy thing. And then people were buying all these cups and bringing them to my little shop so I could personalize them. And I was known for personalizing things. And so I really took some inventory of myself and thought, why are they buying these cups from these other places when they could be buying them from me? So I need to carry these cups. And this is really how my painted store came into this gift shop world. And that's what my big store is now. We sell shirts and boutique items and jewelry and cups and signs and all the fun gift things. And honestly, everything can be personalized in my store. So that's really my niche, is personalization. And that's what all the equipment is behind me that you see. But that really grew from painting to personalizing, and the demand really took over for me to personalize things. And my business shifted from teaching painting and painting things to just personalizing, having the gift items. People were buying for themselves, they were buying for other people, and I would see the same customer come in every month, and I would get these new products in, and I would say, oh, new release, here it is today, and they would sell it like this, and my customers were like, I didn't get one of those. So I thought, okay, I'm going to create a monthly box for my customers, kind of like a VIP. Like if you were a regular, you would want this box. It was the new hottest stuff. You couldn't get it in the store. And then you really felt like you were an important part of my business. You were an important customer of mine. And so it was going to be a mystery box. I wanted it to be fun and exciting. I didn't want them to know what was in it. They're gifting this to themselves because I'm putting their monogram on it. I'm putting their initials on it. And so I just threw this white box up on my Facebook page with my logo, like overlaid on top of it, and said, hey, I'm doing this really cool fun thing. If you want in, sign up here. And so sight unseen, they had no idea what was going to be in this
Wait,
box.
how much was this box?
It was $40 a month. And it was
Oh my
commitment.
gosh.
Like,
Okay.
you had to make this commitment to me. Like you were going to be part of my subscription box. And this was early on. This was like 3 years ago when the subscription box businesses has kind of started being popular. And I recognized that right away. I thought I could do this. I have a lot of products and I could do this. And so I sold 44 subscriptions on that first month and I didn't have a big audience. I didn't have an email list. I didn't have a huge Facebook following. I didn't even have Instagram at that time. It was just my local customers and the people that followed me on my social media. And I told them, if you like what I have in my store and you purchase stuff often, you're going to want in on this. And I sold 44 that first month. And then
so you would pick something, let's say in your store, you'd be like, ooh, this would be a cool thing. I'm going to monogram it because you like know who has signed up for your subscription box. And we were just talking about this before I pressed record, which is it's the thing that I think is so interesting about what you're doing is that, you said your customers are moms. They're women, but they're moms. And as a mom myself, I know, like you showed me what one of your boxes looks like, and I'm going, oh, I would like to get that in the mail as a gift to myself because, as I was saying, Amazon boxes show up all the time at my house, and I always get this tiny little bit of like, oh, what's in that box? Because I've forgotten what I've bought, and I open it up, and it's like shampoo, or it's dishwashing detergent. Or it's something for my daughter. And it's like very little is, because again, I'm not going on Amazon buying myself like little gifts. And so I feel like you've totally tapped into that emotion.
Yes. And for me, it's the feeling. It's not about the stuff. Like the stuff is great and I'm very proud of the stuff, but it's about the feeling that someone gets when they open this box every month, that I have curated this box just for them. Yes, 2,100 other people may have the same box, but I want them to feel like I know them and I picked these items just for them and I've monogrammed it just for them. And so I want them to feel special. I want them to put the items on or use the items, feel excited about it. Or, if they got a new bag this month, oh, where can I go? Where can I take my new bag? Or if they got a new shirt this month, I want them to put it on and feel good about themselves and feel excited to go do something for themselves.
I think that tapping in, I love when you say it's not about the stuff. I mean, the stuff is really pretty, but it's really, you're selling the emotion.
Yeah.
You're selling like, I'm valuable,
Yes.
And in a weird way, it's a little bit like, I'm not giving this to myself, like Sarah is, because I don't know what it is. So it's not like, oh, I went and bought a new sweater, as much as Sarah has selected this box for me of special things that are personalized for me. It's almost like you're giving me a gift and saying, Jill, you matter.
That's exactly what I want it to feel. I curate everything in that box to go together. So it either matches in the same color, it can be used together. Like everything is a complete experience. It's not a bunch of random stuff that I just throw in the box to get rid of. I have carefully selected every one of these pieces to go with each other for that specific month. And that's what creates the best experience for this, is that it's the whole package when they open it up.
Well, okay, so I have to say that before we pressed record, you showed me the box and you opened it up for me because we can see each other on Zoom. And I was like, wow, it is an experience. You're buying the experience.
Yeah, and it's so much more than that. And the other thing about it is that they are part of this secret society that I have going on. So if they're a subscriber and you see another subscriber that has that same bag that you have, you know that they are a subscriber. That is the only way they have this bag with those initials on it in the same thread that you do. Or they're wearing the shirts, because all of my shirts are custom designed by me. And so they're very exclusive to this club. And so a lot of my talk on social media is directly to my subscribers. Hey, subscribers, have you used your bag yet? I want them to feel like they are in this club that's very exclusive, and we all like the same things. If you're in my subscription membership, you like the same things that I like, and that Amber likes, and Jennifer likes, and Suzanne likes. Like, we all like the same things, and we're this little sisterhood of friends, even though we may not know each other.
I love that. Okay, so you're running this store and you're stocking your store with inventory and all this stuff, and then you are also creating these box experiences. So
Yes.
tell me, how are you? And you were saying that for a while you were doing all the embroidery
Yes,
for the subscription box, and now you've had to outsource that.
Yeah, we were doing it all in-house for years, and it's just grown so much. I mean, I've grown by 1,700 subscribers in the last 14 months.
Wow.
And keeping up with that has been a giant task. And so we have outsourced now the monogramming, which has been really great. And it frees us up to focus on the curation and the customer experience versus the laboring over all the things. And it's not easy. It's not easy packing that many boxes with a lot of different variables. There's a size variable, like what t-shirt size do they wear? There's a monogram variable. What's their initials? There are upgrade options. So not everyone's getting the same box if they've chosen the upgrade option. So keeping all that together and in check, that's our specialty, and that's what we do here in the store. So we let someone else do the monogramming now.
Okay. And now, how many people on your team doing your subscription business?
So pretty much everyone.
But I mean, how many people is that? Does it take to run your subscription business?
Well, there's 7 in-store team members. So there are 7. And I would say that 4 of them focus on the subscriptions a majority of the month. And the others are running the retail store and taking care of all of that. I have 3 remote team members that are making sure our back end is great, our graphics are great, the blog, Pinterest, all the things. So I have 3 remote team members as well. It takes a village to keep this train on the tracks, And so that has grown. Like, I was a solopreneur for so long, and I'm sure there are people in your audience that are that way. I worked from my home. It was a long time before I hired my very first employee. I wasn't even paying myself regularly when I did that. But what it has done is it allowed us to keep growing, and the subscriber base kept growing, which pulls in a lot of stability to my business, because this is reoccurring revenue. It's not a one-time sale, and that has stabilized my business where I can employ more people and we can keep growing from there.
Do people have to sign up for a certain number of months? Can they just cancel at any time?
There's no commitment. You can sign up for 1 month, get your first box, and decide it's not for you and cancel next month. There is no commitment. But the lifetime average for a customer of mine is 24 months.
Wow.
That is huge.
That's huge.
Yeah.
So that's what's cool. Again, for us, we have MiloTree, which is a subscription SaaS business. It's a SaaS business, which means software as a service. We sell this pop-up that grows your social media. I'm sure you've seen it on other people's sites, like Brooke uses it, and I don't know if Tamara does. And we too look at what when you're in a subscription business, what you want to look at is not just you want to look at every customer. You want to see how long they stay with you. So how much is every additional customer worth to you?
Exactly.
So if you know that customer is staying for 24 months, you know that customer is worth, let's say, $60 times. How do you kind of figure it out?
Yeah, so on average, my customer is worth about $1,500.
That's insane. That's amazing. So therefore, you can spend to get customers because you can make that up knowing what a customer is worth to you.
Yeah, and the great thing about it is that our customer acquisition costs are less than $5 on average.
Now,
So
oh my gosh. Okay, tell me, how are you acquiring these customers?
So a lot of Facebook ads, and most of it is Facebook ads. And I have a Facebook ads manager on my team that runs that for me, and that's constantly running every month, every day. We're running that. On average, we spend less than $5 for that customer, because once they're in, that's my job. Like, her job is to get them in, right? My job is to keep them. And that is making them feel important and included and special, and just curating the best experience that I can for them. And, for me, I am not a skinny, tiny girl. I wear a size extra large. And so for me, what I was seeing was that most of my subscribers were wearing a size large to 2X t-shirt. Most of them do. And that made me understand that they're relating to me when I'm showing up on live, I'm showing up on camera. They relate to me. And so we jumped our size up to 3X so that we could include more people. And that's another thing about my subscription. It's inclusiveness. I want everyone to feel like they can look and feel good in whatever is in that box, and that it's not curated for the size small. It's not curated for someone that's not like us. Although I have a lot of small subscribers and I love them equally, I just want everyone to feel included, that they can feel good about themselves, because that's ultimately what my whole mission is about feeling good about who you are.
Imagine growing your Instagram followers with no work. Highly engaged followers. Now imagine it with Pinterest, Facebook, YouTube. How about new email subscribers? Seriously, no work. This is all possible if you install the MiloTree pop-up on your blog. David, my husband, and I started our blog, Catch My Party, in 2009. We've since grown it into the largest party ideas site on the web with millions of page views per month. We did it with hard work and our secret weapon, our MiloTree pop-up, which David built for us. We've grown our Pinterest followers to over 1.3 million and our Instagram followers to over 164,000. And right now, 8,000 other bloggers just like you are using MiloTree to grow their businesses. With MiloTree, you can focus on growing one platform or switch between several. But here is the important thing. If you aren't converting your visitors into followers, subscribers, and customers, you're honestly wasting your own traffic. Make this asset, your visitors, work for you. Since we're bloggers, we get bloggers. So we've optimized MiloTree like crazy. It's a snap to install. It won't slow your site down. It's Google friendly on mobile, and it's so darn cute. You can even add animated sparkles to your pop-up if you like. Sign up now and get your first 30 days for free. Please pause this episode and head to milotree.com to sign up. I know you will thank me. As a bonus, once you sign up, I'm going to send you weekly actionable business tips to help you grow your business. I've been at this a long time and I have a lot to share. Remember, your scarcest resource is not money, it's time. So let MiloTree free up time for you so you can focus on the other important parts of your business. So what are you waiting for? Hit pause, head to MiloTree, and sign up today. So how do you then present your brand on social media? Like, what are your strategies? Where do you show up? How often do you show up? What is your messaging?
That is probably something that I have spent a long time working on, and it became this huge thing. And that's a part of my growth over the last 14 months. I told you I grew by 1,700 subscribers, but I had this great local following, like this super local following. I told you they bought 44 boxes from me and they didn't even know what was in it. And that was because people could come into my store. They knew who I was. They were taking a paint class from me. Like, I had built these relationships with people. And so I had this amazing local following, and I still do. And as I tried to transition that into the online space, I just was falling flat. Like, I feel like I couldn't get my reach out there. Like, I feel like I was like, come to me, but nobody was coming. And I really had to sit down and I had to say, why is my local following so strong? Because whatever that is, I need to do that online. And it was me showing up, and I was looking for an influencer, right? I thought, well, I need an influencer to sell my box. No, I don't. I'm the influencer of my own business. I am locally. So how can I transition that into online? Well, I'm an introvert. Let's just talk about that. I am so introverted and I don't like to be on camera. I don't always feel good about myself. I didn't want to be on. I didn't want to do lives. I didn't want to show up as the face of my brand. I'm just a very introverted person, and that scared me to death. But my Facebook ad strategist said, listen, girl, you've got to show up live. That's the only way we're going to grow. You got to show up live, and you got to show up live the way you do when you're in person with people. And so I made a commitment that I would go live every week. Once a week, I would go live. It was Fridays, and it was awful. I would sit there in front of my camera for an hour. I would cry. I'd have to go refix my makeup. Like, I just couldn't. And she's on the other end texting me saying, press the button already. And I was like, I can't. And so what I had to do was, this is a great strategy for you if you're not going live and you want to. I had to message my friends, 5 of my friends. Hey, I'm about to go live. I'm terrified. I'm afraid no one's going to show up. I'm afraid I'm going to be talking to myself. Can you show up for me for 10 minutes? Can you ask me what I'm wearing? Can you ask me about the earrings I have on? Can you ask me how you can become a subscriber? Can you just feed me some questions so that it's conversational? Because I was terrified. Sure, no problem. They got me. So I started going live, and my friends were always there. They were asking me the lead questions that I would feed to them before I went live. And then all of a sudden, like, people started to come. Other people
And this is on your business page, not in a group, business page. Okay.
I do not have a free group. I am an introvert. I don't want to put myself out there very much. And it's just one more thing that I didn't have time for. I'm running this retail store, trying to do this online thing. I've got the subscription box going. I didn't have time for a group. So I was just on my page. I've got to grow it. And then every Friday I'm doing lives, and I'm just showing
And how
up.
long is the live? How long?
They're about 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay.
Every
so
week.
doable?
Is
it doable? Nothing crazy?
No, I would just pull 3 to 5 products in my store, and I called it Friday Faves. And I still do them. Like, you're going to see me show up on Friday. They're Friday Faves. And now I have hundreds of people watching me live instead of 5. And it has really grown my business. But I'm just
now, do you show up at the exact same time? Do you say, I'm going live on Friday? Do you post that, or do people just know to show up?
People just know that on Fridays at 9 o'clock that I am live. Okay. And I also send out an email and let them know, that if they miss my live, here it was. But I don't prep them in any way. I just do my thing, right? And I just talk about my favorite things for the week, like what new things we've gotten in. I'm showing them some different ways to use things, how to style your tee, or what can match things. It's very casual. And when I first started, I was really afraid to say y'all. I'm from Texas. We say y'all. I just thought that was not proper, and that I should be very proper, and I would be very stiff. And now I'm like, I'm a hot mess, girls. Like, I don't even know if my tech's working today. I just show up and tell them, like, I've spilled coffee on my shirt. Look at it right here. Like, I'm just showing up as me. And it's so easy now. And we talk about the things, and then somebody will say something and get me on a rant, and then I'll start ranting about something. And we just have the conversation now. And it's like they're having coffee with me every Friday morning. Like, grab your coffee. We're just going to chat. I'm going to show you some fun new things and tell me what you're doing this weekend. It's really casual, but I have hundreds of people that show up. And I sell a lot of things from that live every single week. It's a traffic driving over to my website every single week. I also then take that live. That live is turned into content for my email campaign, which runs then through the weekend, because I find that I have the most sales over the weekend. So
you're emailing your list with that to sell those items, which is not your membership. This is just product.
Sometimes I'll do a live about my subscription, like if it's open. Sometimes, a lot of times it's closed because I sell out a lot. But I believe last week or the week before, the whole live was about the box and the t-shirt club and how they could join and all of that stuff. So I will do lives about the subscriptions, but a lot of times it's not about the subscriptions. It's just about getting an audience to engage with me, because I feel like if they're a one-time buyer, they're more likely to become a subscription buyer. Sometimes it's hard for us to make the commitment, even though there's no commitment, to enrolling in a subscription service when we have never bought anything from them before. So my goal is to create items that are popular that will sell one time. And then if they get their item fast, they like their item, they had a good experience, they're more likely to convert into a subscriber. And that's really worked best for me.
Yeah. So I always say if you can get people to buy from you and you deliver, like you can't just sell them stuff that's kind of lame. If you deliver and they're surprise and delight, chances are they will come back and they'll buy from you.
Yep.
They'll buy like a bigger thing because they trust you and they know, oh my God, you're going to deliver for me.
Yes. And then they're a customer for 24 months and you don't have to do much to keep them as a customer, but just keep delivering that great experience and showing up and talking to them. And you're making them feel like they're part of your BFF circle, even though you have never met them. And that's what I want them to feel like. And that's what I love. I love the intimate conversations, because I already told you I'm an introvert. So the big scenario is scary for me, but I love having those intimate, lives with them, even though I can't see their faces. They're showing up. They're letting me know they're there. We're talking about things. They're encouraging. It's just a really great experience.
I feel very similarly in this podcast, for example, because thousands of people are going to listen to this. Mm-hmm. But truth be told, to me, it just feels like you and I are girlfriends chatting, talking to each other. Like I feel like we will be friends now forever. And it just gives me an excuse to kind of make a new friend who has a similar interest of like running online businesses and, oh, that's so cool. How do you do this or whatever? And so if I thought about the fact that, oh my God, thousands of people are going to listen to this, I would freak out.
Yeah. If we were on a stage right now with thousands of people in the audience and having this conversation, it would feel very stiff and very different. But because it's just you and I, it's comfortable and intimate. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely. Okay, so now tell me about, for example, beyond Facebook. So you're doing Facebook ads, you're going live on Fridays, you're building, and then you're repurposing your Facebook lives in your email so people can get to know you and see you as a human and a person and relatable. And then they're potentially buying from you off of that. Now, what about, say, Instagram? How are you using that for your business?
So Instagram is, it came a little later than Facebook. And I feel like if you haven't started all the things, it's just like one thing at a time. Don't try to go start all these platforms at one time because it's going to be super overwhelming. Start with something, get really good at it, and then add another layer in. So that was me with Facebook. Started with Facebook, super comfortable. Then I added in Instagram a few years later. I was trying to not add Instagram. Like I thought, it's not going to be here for a while. Like it's going to go away. I don't want to learn one more thing. Because again, I already told you guys, I'm not the tech person. I have tech trouble all the time. So then I added Instagram in, and I really just do the same things on Instagram as I do as Facebook. I just cross post, but I show up in my stories. So lots of Instagram users they love the stories. And that's a way for me not to be so polished, right? Like I can be like, oh, I'm having a really rough day. How's your hair looking today? Or whatever the case may be, that's all in my stories. I'm teasing about new products. I'm making the nice, pretty post for the feed, but I'm having a lot of fun in the stories. I'm engaging. I want to do polls. I want to ask questions. I want you to reply to me. I want to use a little slide bar with the heart eye emoji. Like I want you to play with me and interact with me in my stories. So I use Instagram for that.
And how often are you creating stories? Every day, multiple times a day?
I try to do a couple posts a day. Now there are days that I don't get a story in, but it's probably 4 or 5 times a week that I'm creating a story. And if I do a story, it's maybe a 2 or 3 part story so that there's not just one story going in. It's kind of a 3-part thing. And I don't need to overwhelm me. I don't need 20 stories a day. I don't need to do that. Like that's not me anyway, but I want to keep you watching like, oh, what is she doing now? And a lot of times I will tease sneak peeks about upcoming things in the stories. And that's the only place that I put them. So people they know, oh, I got to keep an eye on Sarah's stories because that's where she puts the sneak peeks of stuff. And it's really just about me being real in there, like, things going wrong or whatever is happening in the day, or if I'm excited about something and I want to show somebody, I'll pop it in the stories. But I think those can be really fun and really engaging and really help someone get to know you as part of your brand.
Do you feel like people are buying from Instagram, or Instagram is really about brand building? Wait, I'm looking at my hair here. Is Instagram brand building, or are you actually seeing, like, what do you see? What is success for you on Instagram?
Success is really just engagement. I think that I'm engaging there. I do have buyers from Instagram. I have the product tags on Instagram. I use those. I now have the swipe up feature, even though I don't have 10,000 followers. So that is new.
Wait, how did you get that? How'd you get that without 10,000 followers?
Now if you have the tag feature on your Instagram where you can tag products in your post, you have the swipe up option in your stories. You can't do swipe up on the feed, but you can do swipe up in your stories, and you can also link products in your stories too. So you can do that. So I have that now, but it's really just about engaging them, and they're buyers. They're buying on Instagram, they're buying on Facebook, they're buying everywhere. So it's just where are they at? Where do you meet them at? Because some people are not on Facebook. Some people use Instagram a lot more. So you just want to meet them wherever they're at.
I love that. Okay, and are there any other social media platforms that are important for you?
Pinterest is super important.
Yes, okay.
Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, trifecta. That's my trifecta right there. And they all come at different stages. Like Pinterest didn't come until, maybe a little over a year ago for me. But now I'm at 2 million views a month on my Pinterest. And that really came from, I know everything I do is very pinnable, like all the fun colors, all the monogramming, all the stuff. It's very pinnable. And so I really think that Pinterest is almost like the Google for women sometimes.
Oh, it absolutely is. It's a search engine. And it is. Yeah. And in fact, we have a coaching group, and what we say is, if you can do Pinterest, you can do Google. Like, they're very similar. And one is just more visual. And but otherwise they work the same way.
Yeah. So Google's my next thing. I told you I do one thing at a time. So Google's my next thing. But with Pinterest, it just ties so many things back together. So it's all the photos that I'm creating for social media. It's all my flat lays. It's all my photos. They're very pinnable. Then we have the blog. So I have a weekly blog that I talk about 5 ways to style this month's tea, or what you got in your June monogram box, or gift options for teens, or whatever we're doing for the week. That's all tied back into Pinterest as well. So it's just kind of this circle. So it's like from social media to Pinterest to blogs to emails, like it's all tied back, and you don't have to create like a ton of content for everything. You just really create some staple pieces. Like when I create 5 different ways you can wear your June t-shirt club tee, that's a blog that has 5 different photos that I can use on social media, because I have 5 different ways that I've styled this tee. I can connect the t-shirt club subscription link and have people join their subscription. Then I can pin all of those separate. I can pin them together. I can write an email about, send it to my subscribers, like, hey, did you know these are 5 different ways you can style your tee? Or if you're not a subscriber, you can get one tee and style it 5 different ways. Join our t-shirt club. There's so many ways to use that one piece of content that probably takes me an hour or 2 to make.
Now, here's the thing. Are you taking your photos, or do you have somebody else? Are you the one who is pinning? I know you're showing up on Facebook.
Yep.
And you're doing Instagram stories.
Yep.
How much of the other stuff are you doing, and how much of the other stuff is, assistants and people who are helping you? Like, who's sending your emails?
This is now a therapy session because I do too much.
Okay.
I'm gonna out myself right here of I do too much, and I know that I need more team members, but this is what I do. I take the photos because they're very important. And I have not found someone that can take photos or sees the style that I see, that can do the flat lays the way that I do them. So to me, it's one of the most important things to sell your product and to get people over to your product are those photos. So those are super important. So until I find that, I'm still doing that. I write emails. all of them. Every one of them comes from my little fingers. And it's very easy because it's very conversational.
And how many emails are you sending a week?
I send one campaign a week. So that campaign will go out 4 different times. It will have different subject lines, and I'll tweak just a few things in it. But that's to a different segmented audience that I have. So that's a whole strategy that I have. I may send one other email out earlier in the week if I've got something fun I want to share. So that's really, I'm creating maybe 1 to 2 really pieces of email each week. And then I have one of my VAs does all the Pinterest for me. I don't touch Pinterest at all. She takes my flat lay photos. We drop them in a Dropbox. She pulls them in. She creates the pins. She creates story images from them because the pin size is almost the size as your stories. So then we can post them into the stories. She works on graphics. So she'll take one flat lay and make like 5 different graphics for it that I can use on social media. So she's doing all of that. She also helps me with the blog. We tag team the blog. A lot of it's my voice, but she just makes it really pretty and makes me sound really awesome. And she formats all of those. So that's the help that I get, but I'm doing the other stuff still.
Wow. Okay. You are right in there. I love that. You are the face and the vibe, like meaning you're rolling up your sleeves and you're in it. This is your business. And
it is my business.
And that people are getting a piece of you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not someone that's pretending to be me. It's not someone that is faking my voice or what I'm saying in those blogs or emails is not really me. Like, it's really me. And so, I know at some point I can't do all of that. So we just build it as we go and do the best that we can. And, for right now, I can still do all those things. And so I enjoy sending the emails. I enjoy styling the flat lays. That's my creativity in all of this. I'm a very creative person. So until then, we'll do that.
I love that. Okay. Sarah, if people want to see what you're doing, join your membership, all of that, and reach out to you, what is the best way?
I think Facebook's the best way to find and see all the new things that we're doing.
Okay. So tell us your Facebook, your page, and how people can find it.
So that's Framed by Sarah, and it's Sarah with an H. And so my website is also framedbysarah.com. You can find me on Instagram at framedbysarah. Again, all of that matches for a reason. Like, you don't want to be 3 different people in 3 different places. People can't find you. I am Framed by Sarah everywhere, and you can find me that way.
Oh, that is great. Would you come back for a part 2 to talk about your email strategy and how you're sending all of these different emails?
I would love to.
Because I feel like I'm digging in. I've noticed that a lot of my content has become like trying to understand how powerful email is and different ways that people are using it to grow their businesses.
Yeah, it's so important. And the one thing that I didn't understand when I first started my business was how much of an asset it is. And it really costs you nothing. So unlike your ads and all of that, it really costs you nothing. And all you need is a little bit of strategy behind it. And it's like, I call it my ATM. And I know it sounds cheesy, but it's like, I just type a little thing in and out comes money because I'm selling so much from my emails. And it's just, again, I said it earlier, it's meeting people where they're at. Are they on Instagram? Are they on Facebook? Are they on Pinterest? Are they in your email box? Because yes, they are. They still are. So
I love it. All right, we are going to do a part 2.
Okay.
So I have to say thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me. It was a lot of fun.
I hope you guys liked that episode. My biggest takeaway is that there are certain ingredients you need to be a successful entrepreneur. One is you do not need to be an extrovert. Sarah says she's an introvert. I would say I'm an introvert. But you need to be able to connect with your customers and your audience. You need to listen to them and hear what they're saying to you. You need to be nimble. You need to be consistent and show up for your business. And I would say the last piece is you need to try stuff. You need to dream big and put small experiments out there and see how they perform. And then when it doesn't perform, you have to weirdly kind of pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and try something else. I found this interview really inspiring, and Sarah will be back soon for a part 2 where we dig into her email strategy and also how she went about actually creating these boxes, these subscription boxes. If you are enjoying the podcast, please head to iTunes right now and give it 5 stars. It helps people find it. It helps it grow. It helps me get great guests on the show. And I would super appreciate it. And I'm going to read some of the comments that you leave in some future episodes. And don't think I don't read them, because I totally do. And again, it gives me insight into how I can improve and how I can grow the show. So I wish you a good week, and I'll see you here again next week.